It has been a long time since the last time I saw a FGO figure that is priced under 20,000 yen. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 11th to 16th of November 2024. For the genuine anime figures side, we have a moderate amount of figures, not too many. On the third party side, a bit lesser than usual, just like last week. And that is actually a good thing because there are too many tempting, attractive figures on the genuine licensed anime figures side for this week. So without further ado, let's jump into Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner for licensed original anime figures from Japan. And I have selected the scale figures I want to cover. As usual, we'll start off with a quick mention over here. This Prime 1 Studio 1x4 Overlord Albedo by Prime 1 Studio is coming out in May next year, and I covered her last week on OSGK. So now, yeah, because she is a licensed figure, eventually Japanese websites will pick up on them. And here we have her going for 165,000 yen. If you have the money to splurge on one, I think this is a very looking albedo figure though, as long you're okay with resins. The next one here, we have first 4 figures Darksiders Fury statue for 144 or 144,000 yen. That is a big discount, down from 152k. Okay, the problem here is that while this is an incredible looking statue from a game that I don't play, I have no idea why they did not mention the scale over here and not in the description below either. So is this a 1.6 or 1.4? I'm inclined to say it is 1.6, but at the same time, albedo earlier is not that expensive at 160 plus K, and this is 144, you know, without wings. So this could be 1x4, like what the heck? I've gone through every pictures over here just minutes ago before I started recording, and there is no mention of the scale or dimension or anything else. Maybe it is a non-scale, right? But at least let us know the dimensions. Oh, glow in the dark. I just criticized Momo Rosa's figures recently. Maybe I was being a bit unfair. Like, yeah, if you don't want the figures to glow in the dark, then you don't have to, you know, you don't have to do anything to it. It is just a bonus feature that does not cost extra. So yeah, fair enough. While I know nothing about first 4 figures, because they are refusing to use the metric system to measure anything, and they would rather use 4 Coca-Cola cans or 4 Pepsi cans to tell us the size of the figure, I'm inclined to believe this is an American figure brand, which I think I am definitely wrong about it. Anyways, yeah, Americans would use anything other than the metric system to measure dimensions. Anyways, great looking figure, not my kind of thing though. And we move on to the next 1x4 scale, B-Style Iro Bunny Monica illustrated by D-Smile by Freeing 38,000 yen, May release next year. Okay, so this is a bit nicer than a typical bunny figure, I suppose, because she has a nice black leather jacket and it makes the figure look at least a little bit extra interesting. Imagine without the black jacket over there. Just a red bunny suit and black stockings, right? Nothing special. So the jacket at least adds a little bit of visual interest and I like it. But I still wish there is a little bit more details on the design of the jacket, you know? I shouldn't be expecting so much from Freeing, I suppose. That's the thing. This is for those of you who love the art by this artist, D-Smile. I've seen these names appear many times in the anime figure market. Moving up next, this is my favorite 1x4 scale bunny figure this week, specifically bunny figure. 1x4 scale Sophia F Shirring, again, from Bunny Suit Planning. This is third version by Freeing, 36,000 yen, coming out in July next year. Oh, she is my favorite 1x4 scale PVC figure this week. Not because of those melons, okay? It has nothing to do with her massive rack. I have always been a fan of Sophia F Shirring's character design in terms of her face and her hairstyle, everything. Just my kind of character. Those melons are just a bonus, right? And that is borderline acceptable to me in terms of size. I don't like those that are way too big. This is partially customable. Yeah, a mild edgy figure. At 36k, it is actually not a bad value proposition. This is like a better buy than the D-Smile figure earlier. And yeah, I would vouch for this one as long you don't mind freeing stuff. Like, I have seen a lot of people having very harsh criticisms on freeing figures. Like, it is not detailed, it is very simple, but I'm paying so much money for it, which is kind of a legit complaint. But at the same time, there are those that are slightly better than the others, and I think this Sophia figure is one of them. Yeah, I like it actually. And the pose, no, those body turn around poses, it is my kind of thing. That is the icing on the cake over here. Moving on to the next one over here, 1/5 scale Bar Bunny by Pure. Wait, was this on pre-order in Ami last week? Adult section, of course. I can't remember much. Once again, giant melons, but if I put that aside, where her body proportion is not my kind of thing, I like her face a lot. Like that big blush over there, you know, when she is super dry or wet. Anyways, when she is in mating season, I suppose. Yeah, and then this kind of face expression is my kind of thing. Yeah, I love it. So I think the face is a major selling point for this figure rather than cast off option. That is just a bonus. And this is by Pure, one of the higher tier ecchi figure brands from China. Yeah, 28,000 yen at 1/5 scale is very reasonable considering this is cast offable, you're getting extra parts. Great looking figure. Moving on to the next one, we now enter 1/6 territory, and before we move on, quick mention, this went on Ami, went on pre-order on Ami last week. Elf Sisters, Faniel and Michelle. So yeah, lolly version and male version, pick your poison, but usually we get both, right? We want them as a pair, and they would go really well with Vertex Elf Sister figures. Yeah, Elf Village, not Elf Sister. Vertex Elf series, they are all the same scale, so yeah, good purchase. And Hobby Sakura is an A tier figure brand by now. At least that is how I rate them based on pictures of their figures I've seen by users. It is not like I buy figures from every brand out there. I wish that I could do that, you know, in order to be more objective in my assessment of a figure brand's quality, but they have been doing good work recently. Okay, moving on to the next one, 1/6 scale freeing B-style Iro Bunny illustrated by Satopote. Anyways, 25k may release next year. 25k is expensive in my opinion. This is just plain bunny figure in the end. Like, yeah, unique pose, attractive pose, but in the end, just the bunny figure, 25k at 1/6. No, this is 20,000 yen max. Must be the licensing cost. Like, the artist thinks he or she is hot stuff, so she is asking for more. Licensing fees. Yeah, that's the thing with genuine figures, right? Sometimes the price difference is so ridiculous. Like, from the same brand, the same scale, but why figure A is 25k, figure B is only 18k? Usually, the biggest culprit is the licensing cost. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. This is actually one of my favorite scale figures on pre-order this week. Top 3 favorite. 1/6 scale Sakyo Basista no One-san by Limland, a very new Chinese figure brand. They have like 3 or 4 figures on pre-order, but none of them have been released yet. Just a little bit over 18,000 yen, and this is one attractive figure. Limland is known for making ecchi figures, so this is a safe figure. A very safe figure by their standards, and you get a bonus faceplate where obviously the one with tongue sticking out is the better looking one. Yes, I've gone through all of the pictures and there are no signs of this figure being cast offable, which is a bit odd, but at the same time, the low price of 18,000 yen given what you're getting over here, cast off ability is just a bonus, right? To me, it is not a big requirement in anime figures. Look at that. Whoa, this is pretty. This is really good stuff for 18,000 yen. Yeah, if you love the character design, by all means, go ahead and hit the pre-order button because I haven't seen a bad Chinese figure brand. Yeah, haven't seen one. Moving on to the next one here by DMM Factory. Well, I've discussed about this figure like 3 times by now. She was revealed back in Wonfest Summer last year, I think, and then Mega Hobby Expo, and then earlier this year's Wonfest again. 1/6 scale illustrator collection figure Toshishita Kanojo, illustration by Ranfu, is it? I think it's pronounced as Ranfu, right? Okay, 25,000 yen, August, release next year. No, I wrote off this figure when I first saw her prototype pictures in figure events, in the One Fest and so on. But now, seeing these final product pictures, she looks a lot better than I expected. I have to admit that. Sometimes we couldn't judge a figure too early for this reason. 25,000 yen is a little bit on the high side, but this is a unique figure in a way that, I mean, she is playing with all those bunnies. I haven't seen a figure with this kind of setup before. And there's nothing not to like about her, Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Of course, this is my favorite figure this week, right? I am a big fan of Melusine, let me make that clear. And you have no idea how disappointed I am when, Fat Company got their hands on the second stage, or was it third stage, the one with all the mecha parts, the huge wings and so on. I was so disappointed Fat Company got their hands on that, I wanted Outer or Amakuni, Kyoskyo would be good as well, good smile as well. Anyone else but Fat Company got their hands on that. Oh, until today, still in prototype stage. So, anyways, no point complaining. What has happened has happened. Now back to this ruler class version of Melusine. I'm a bit surprised by the pricing of almost 17,000 yen. This is without tax, of course. I think in Army this would be closer to 18k or 19k. September release next year. So with any FGO figures, my normal strategy is to wait at least 3 to 6 months after release before getting them on a big discount. Bargain bin. It hasn't happened to many FGO figures released this year so far, but we do have decent price cuts like 20% maximum. I'm taking my sweet time to get my hands on them. I'm not rushing. Like, what is the point of rushing? I mean, rushing the review out when the view count so far on this channel, like I go through the analytics, they perform very averagely. So I don't see it as a major incentive to get them early at full price. That's the thing, because it is not like I'm super rich or anything like that. At the same time, this ruler Melusine figure is so cheap that I wouldn't mind pre-ordering it early, right? And what surprises me the most is the price, definitely, because as we all know by now, if you collect FGO figures, I'm sure you have noticed as well, FGO figures seem to have some kind of tax on it. We call it the FGO tax, where as long it is a FGO figure, it will be like 5 or 7,000 yen more expensive than a similar 1/7 scale figure from other franchises, right? But it does not apply to this Melusine figure for some reason. And given that Good Smile Company has been putting a lot of affordable scale figures on pre-order lately, a lot of them under 20,000 yen this week included, I think Good Smile Company has found a way to cut their production cost. Whatever it is, I don't know, but I think they have found a way to reduce the prices of the scale figures, and I really wish they would do something similar to, their Nandroids and Figmas on Max Factory sites. I don't know. But they are pushing the prices of scale figures down somehow. Maybe because they are seeing competition from Chinese brands. Competition is always good for consumers. But hey, I really welcome this, right? Granted, this is a fairly simple figure, There are still a lot of details on the upper half on her body. And will I get one? Absolutely. It is just a matter of timing, whether to pre-order it now or to wait until after release. Yes, this is a must-have to me, so will you pre-order it early after seeing this price? Let me know in the comments below. In fact, it has been a long time since the last time I saw a FGO figure that is priced under 20,000 yen. This is the first time in a year or two, I think. As long as you exclude those plain bikini swimsuit figures, right, like our treasure 1/8 scales, those are budget figures in a way. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Another fairly low budget scale figure, 1/7 scale A2 from Nier Automata by Good Smile again. 18,000 yen coming out in August next year. So back then, when I covered this figure in Good Smile, One Fest Shanghai, not Good Smile. One Fest Shanghai a few months ago, I predicted this to be 16,000 yen. So I was a little bit off, obviously. This is 18k, 2,000 yen more expensive. But at the same time, given that, hey, a lot of figures get discounted after release, I think it is possible to get her for 16k after release. Yeah. I mentioned this so many times. My favorite two Nier Automata figures right now, the genuine ones obviously, are the Max Factory and Aniplex one. Figures like this, even more so with such a plain pose, I can afford to wait until after release. Especially when you consider that now we have so many Nier Automata figures, there is competition, so it is less likely for something like this to sell out right after release, right? The inventory is going to be there. So I don't see it as a necessity to pre-order it too early. Moving on to the next one over here. Another cheap scale figure from Good Smile Company. We have Ichika from Blue Archive at only 15,000 yen, November release next year, 2025. Yeah, this is by no means a detailed figure. It is not, right? I mean, this is just plain JK figure. When I look at the big picture over here, it is just a JK, but with wings and a rifle and a halo on the head. Still, 15k? Yeah, this is great value. And that base over there, Space Saver, extra. Yeah. Hey, figures like this are fine. This is excellent buy. So we have 3 value figures back to back, and now we move into the 4th one over here. Good Smile Company again. Monogatari series Hitagi Senjo Gahara, letter to you, 20,000 yen exactly. Very reasonable, right? See, considering she is sitting on a post box. Sitting on a post box, Japanese style post box, and whatever that is for the base, I think it is a pool of water, I think. So she is sitting in the midst of a flood. That is my only complaints about this figure, to be honest. I would prefer the base that is a replica of a road surface or maybe a sidewalk, not a pool of water like that. But maybe they are following the artwork, right? A specific artwork this figure is based on. So it is not a bad looking base. I'm a little bit biased in my assessment. Like I say, I prefer a sidewalk simply because I am a figure photographer who builds dioramas, and a sidewalk would be a lot easier to deal with when it comes to building a scene for my own photography works rather than something like this. Yeah. So maybe it is not exactly a fair complaint. Overall, if I look at the figure and the figure only on its own, this is incredible value at 20,000 yen. And probably, yeah, just as good as those Floating Scissors Hitagi figure by Good Smile as well from 10 or 12 years ago. That was 9,000 yen, but the price has gone up nowadays. This is good. This is really good. Top 3 best figure this week, together with the Melusine. Though with Melusine specifically, I'm biased obviously. I love FGO. Next one here, we have re-release of Elena from, yeah, The Journey of Elena. 24,500 yen, November release next year. Hey, not surprised at all. Scale figures by Good Smile Company, they rarely go up in value after release, right? Because they mass produce a lot, they overproduce a lot. But this Elena figure is an exception. And since more than a year ago, even before this figure came out, right? Back then, during her first release, when I covered her in Figure News Fix, I have already said this is the best Elena scale figure out there. And the aftermarket value reflects that. Yeah. So if you missed out your first opportunity, here is a second chance. Take it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Another re-release that I am not surprised at all. Shirogane Noel swimsuit version. Good Smile again, 18,000 yen, August, release next year. My comments back then, like from over a year ago, I said that the water splash over here is one of the better looking ones I've seen in many anime figures. Many figures, their water splash end up looking like slime. This has a little bit of slime look to it, but you know, the way they injected the color, like the very borders over here are white color. Like, you know, when you look at sea water and those waves and so on, if you pay attention, they're a bit foamy in a way. And this is capturing the foamy look very well. So I love it for that reason. 18,000 yen. And once again, Here's your second chance if you missed out your first one. For the first time ever, I will choose a less detailed figure compared to a more detailed one. The more detailed one I'm referring to is Fat Company's Shirogane Noel in that full armor outfit. I will still make this one my priority and Fat Company's version second. Yeah. So let's move on to the next figure over here from Cyber Agent, 1x7 scale, Spice and Wolf, Holo, 26k December release. Cyber Agent came up with a number of Niji Sanji figures which felt a little bit overpriced to me, perhaps licensing cost. But this Holo figure, oh, she looks great. This is one of the better looking figures by Cyber Agent in recent memory, I think. This looks good. I don't have any complaints at all. 26k, is it fair? Well, there is a lot of details going on with the figure. I think it is reasonable on this one. Of course, I would prefer her to be like 22,000 yen, 23,000 yen, but 26, fair enough. On the expensive side, but I wouldn't call it overpriced, right? This is a very good looking Holo figure. Alright, moving on to the next one over here. This is perhaps the most underwhelming scale figure this week by Luminous Box, 1x7 scale Rika Takarada, May release next year at just over 13,000 yen. Yeah, underwhelming in terms of detail and refinement, but the price reflects that, 13,000 yen only, so fair enough. You know, the first time I saw this figure on pre-order a few days ago, I was like, isn't this Kotobukiya's version? Did they re-release it? Which I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And then the harder I think, no. Kotobukiya's version was, Rika was standing, and the one sitting on the desk was Shinjo Akane. I actually like that pair a lot, to be honest. Anyways, Luminous Box. I don't think this is a low-budget figure brand, so it is a little bit of a surprise to me that they are putting out a low-budget Rika Takarada figure. Low-budget by Japanese figure brand standards. Next one over here, Roxy Migodia is getting a re-release again. Is this the third re-release? Second or third by now? 17,000 yen, May release next year. Because you guys love undressing her so much, isn't it? This is far from my favorite Roxy figure, if I have to be honest. Like, yeah, sure. Kotobukiya really capitalized on the events in season 1 of the anime, and it is a huge smashing success in terms of sale numbers. Why not re-release it, right? This is way better than letting the scalpers profit. Okay, nothing much else to say. Like, I've discussed about this figure so many times already over the years. And the last figure on HLJ for this week, Yuno Gasai from Mirai Nikki or Future Diary, pop-up rate 4,000 yen, May release next year. This figure is a big miss in my opinion. Or maybe there is a Good Smile online exclusive version which I'm not aware of because I did not do my homework. When you have a yandere, she is a yandere icon. When you have a yandere, a hardcore one like Yuno Gasai holding an X over there needs to be blood stains on that X, and you need a yandere face plate or face expression for a face. This is a big miss in my opinion. Unless there is an exclusive version out there which I'm not aware of that includes these features, then yeah, unfortunately I would tell you to get the exclusive version, which I don't know if she even exists. Or maybe Good Smile is saving that for a future release like version 2 or version exclusive or some kind. Reserve it for One Fest exclusive, I don't know, but Good Smile, if you are watching this, hey, I just give you guys a new sales idea. Or maybe you guys already want to do that in the first place. Okay, and that is all for figures on HLJ. Now we stop by Ami for some exclusive items and items that are not yet available at HLJ at the time of recording. First one here, Ami exclusive Azalane figure, Taiho. Yeah, this one I discussed about her back in Mega Hobby Expo last year. Alter does not attend One Fest, right? They go for Mega Hobby Expo. This is a very pricey 34,000 yen, and I'm a little bit unhappy with Alter. Like, in the past year or so, my opinion of Alter has declined a little bit. Firstly, their quality control is, yeah, it is not as good as before. Maybe because they are rushing out a huge number of figures. And they don't delay as often as in the past. No, in the past 5 years, 7 years ago, it is normal for them to delay a figure by 3 months, 5 months, normal. Nowadays, they delay 1 to 2 months maximum. I don't know how they manage it. And at the same time, while there are less delays, they're increasing the production quantity, as it is being reflected in the aftermarket prices. You don't see outer figures go up in value that quickly anymore. So yeah, the QC is slipping a little bit. Like if outer was S tier to me last year, this year I would downgrade them to A tier. And even more so, having purchased the FGO figure from them, that BB Moon Cancer, I wasn't particularly pleased with it. Yeah. Outer, watch yourself. Please maintain the quality. Really? This is a great looking figure, just that I'm not sure if it is worth 34,000 yen. I would say this is 30,000 yen maximum. Yeah. It is overpriced. And Ami exclusive. I don't want to rant about it again. Let's move on to the next Ami exclusive. Oh, this is hot. Pardon myself for liking lollies, but this is hot. This is my kind of thing. Arzalane and Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. Collab. Mary Rose. Yeah, quite a famous character from Dead or Alive. Steamy Venus version 1/6 scale. This is the DX edition, which is obviously the one you should be getting. 27,500 yen, and for 2,000 yen less, you lose that base over there, right? You only get the bench. I don't see the point. This looks so much better for additional 2,000 yen. Why would this version even exist? I just don't get it, right? If standard and deluxe version has a 5,000 yen price difference and a huge difference in amount of accessories, optional accessories, I think it makes sense. This one you lose a very great looking base and pay and save 2,000 yen. I mean, bad deal. This is the one I would go for, obviously. Coming out in December next year. Long wait, but I like this a lot. And this is made by KT Model Plus. So far, I think almost every single one of the figures they made, they are all Ami exclusive. They have this Musashi figure, Berserker class Musashi figure from FGO, not FGO, Fate Samurai Remnant, Ami exclusive as well. I just like her so much. I mean, Ami exclusive. I'm a bit unwilling to pay for Ami. You know, I mean, Ami's shipping tend to be a little bit more expensive because they love putting their figures into oversized boxes in the name of protection. Maybe some of you will prefer that. For me, it is a little bit excessive sometimes, you know. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here, Ami exclusive, we have Futurama DX Dracap. Okay, a Dragon Ball stuff by Mega House. Like a bust figure of some kind, a really small one at 10,000 yen coming out in March 2025. 13.5 centimeters. Like this. Alright, 4 figures over there, right? 4 bust figures, fair enough. I've been giving Mega House so much criticism over the months. Moving on to the next one. This is one of the best looking Barney figures out there in the recent month or so. And the only unfortunate part is that this is a 1/6 and not a 1/4. The pose is spot on. I love the pose. Something new. Something I've never seen before. And I mean, of course, I'm referring to the upper half of the figure, right? This Asian toilet squat pose is nothing new, but this pose, I've never seen it before. Very nice, I like it. Kuro Gale Bunny Senpai 1/6 scale, 30,000 yen, June 2025 release. So is the Kuro the black part referring to her outfit or her skin color or both? I mean, it is a thing in Asia in general, not in Japan. I mean, when we see someone with darker skin tone, we just outright call it brown or black. It can sound a little bit racist, but it is kind of our culture in a way. Like my father, my own dad, my father has a very tanned skin. He's mixed race, by the way. So sometimes when people ask me about my family and stuff, and then I would say my father, my dad is kind of black or kind of brown. I would say that, and nobody gets offended, including my own parents, because it is a fact to begin with. So we literally use color to describe a person, which can be offensive in Western countries, but in Asia, it is completely normal and widely accepted. So this is a difference in culture. Okay, back to this figure over here. 30,000 yen for 1/6 scale is very expensive. I would even call it overpriced. But this is a binding figure. You are definitely getting extra parts in the box for cast off. So I would downgrade my complaints about this figure from overpriced to very expensive. So it is expensive, but not entering the overpriced territory yet. You're probably getting like 1.5 figures in the box. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. This was from OneFest Shanghai as well. Daytime Cat's Lemon Cat by Weebos, a very good Chinese figure brand at 10,000 yen, releasing in May 2025. I prefer the original black color version. I said the same thing back then. This lemon color version, for whatever reason, looks a bit yucky to me. Like, you know, the first thing that came to mind when I saw this figure was salad. Not to say I hate salad. Unlike people who hate vegetables, I do like salad depending on what kind of salad it is. But this reminds me of the worst kind of salads out there, like, no, a bowl of green vegetables only with lemon, lime. The color scheme is a turn off. That's the problem I have with this figure. Okay, the black color version that was released before that was a regular release. This is an exclusive somehow. I think they had to deliberately make this figure an exclusive, because if it wasn't, nobody would buy it. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so I covered this figure briefly last week when she appeared early on Ninin Game. Now she's on Ami but not on HLJ yet. So once again, Private Tutor Asako Fuyuyama 1/6 scale at just under 8,000 yen by Bear Panda, where I've just reviewed their Yuna figure of Yuna figure at 1/4 scale, and she got a big thumbs up from me. So I am not expecting this 1/6 scale to be any different in terms of quality. It will be similar but smaller figure. To me, it looks a little bit generic, like nothing too special. But the biggest redeeming factor of this figure to me is, yeah, she looks very natural. She looks like a model, right? A fashion model posing for a photograph. And I love that because once again, I'm a figure photographer. So this kind of pose makes it very easy for me to create a scene to support the figure. Yeah. Will I get one? I don't know yet. You see, Yuna was so popular. There's a high demand. Pre-order sold out in Ami and also HLJ, but I did not pre-order it. I wait until after release. I just grabbed it off Taobao. Yeah. So I don't see a need to pre-order her too early. And the last figure on Ami, this is from the adult section, I think. Taimanin RPGX Onisaki Kirara. Yeah, Taimanin is getting some kind of a resurgence lately. A lot of figures coming out. 1/4 scale by binding, typical 44,000 yen. That is their normal price for most of the 1/4 scales coming out in... Where's the release date? Damn, where's the release date? November. Okay, November 2024. And obviously, she will be partially customable, at least the top, right? A Taimani RPG, there are like 3 characters only, right? 3 or 4 main characters, not many. So usually, people will go for the entire set. This is not bad. Like, I don't have much complaints about this figure otherwise. Okay, moving on to Ninin Game. We have a lot of, cultured figures by Insight. The first one here is my absolute favorite. Hashtag lolly, hashtag JK, hashtag 4P. Yeah. 3 pairs of arms over there touching all over the place. Oh, perfect. The only reason why I wouldn't get one is because this is by Insight, but I will... And even if I were to get one, I couldn't review it on YouTube. Like, I would get banned outright, I think. Okay. Some of you have actually recommended me to open a Patreon account. I've already opened one, but it is not live yet. And I just found out that if you are a creator that creates 18 plus content, adult content, you couldn't upload videos. Am I right? Or am I missing out on something over there in the rules and settings and so on? Because, when I went through the rules where they said that you can upload videos and get 100 hours of videos, which is plenty. And, you know, after I upload and I reach the limit, I just delete the old one. But if if I couldn't upload a video review on Patreon for an 18 plus figure like this, like, why would I even bother buying one? Yeah, uploading pictures, of course. I can take high quality pictures of these figures, put it in Patreon and let you guys download it. I'm open to doing that, but it is a bit sad that I couldn't review the figure on Patreon even, if that is really the case. So if you have experience with Patreon, you use it, or you have an account over there, let me know down in the comments below. Is it true that you can't upload videos for 18 plus content? Back to this figure over here, 19,000 yen for the 1/6 scale, and yeah, 29k for the 1/4 scale. Oh, 1/4 would be awesome for this. Okay, next one here, this is just a priestess cat girl with no clothes on. 19,000 yen once again at 1/6 and 1/4 scale, 29k. This is not that nice compared to the previous one. Next inside figure over here, it looks like they forgot to crop the picture over here, so I have to take matters into my own hands. We have an overweight succubus mother. I mean, I know some people prefer this kind of very thick body proportions, which is just a polite way of calling someone who is overweight or even obese, right? I mean, I am a healthcare professional in my day job, in my career, and I refuse to sugarcoat what is basically overweight or obesity. Yeah, I mean, it is our mission, our goal to educate people about healthcare. And next one here, 1/5 scale, the daughter, succubus daughter, Nene Neji. And apparently this is a re-release. So regardless of my complaints about the quality of figures coming from this brand, yeah, they actually do sell. I understand that preferences and taste in different regions, in different countries, they are completely different. 23,000 yen and 1/5 scale. Moving on to the next one, we have 4 versions of this figure, the last genuine figure this week. Ghostly Yuko-san. Yeah, in the past 2 weeks, we had this ghost girl figure appearing on the third-party site here with a licensed one by Forge Japan. This is the safe version. You can't cast this off. 19k at 1/6 and this 29k at 1/4 scale. And the third and fourth version obviously are the not safe for work version. Once again, 19 and 29k for 1/6 and 1/4, and they are made by Insight instead. Alright, that's all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. A very good week actually. Now I move on to third-party resin figures making use of OSGK, which is our affiliate partner for the third-party resin side of things. Please do make use of the affiliate links down in the descriptions below. If you intend to pre-order or purchase anything from HLJ and OSGK as a way of supporting this channel. Moving on to the first 3 figures over here, Anya as usual. I want to get over with Anya figures every week. This is, wow, Donald Trump Anya Forger. So here we have Anya being, yeah, cosplaying the 47th President of the United States. You know, US politics is pure entertainment to me right now. I don't really care who won, to be honest, because regardless of who wins, US politics is pure cinema in my opinion. Like, I read the world news just to see what is going on over there in your country if you're watching this from the United States. It is entertainment, seriously. The amount of absurdity that happens over there. This is so unique. And a crossover, the kind of crossover that will never happen to any genuine figures. I kind of want one just because why not? They don't have a blonde hair version, right? They should give her a blonde hair version with a haircut that is similar to Trump and put on a troll face, obviously. That would be comedy gold, man. Moving on to the next Anya Stone Custom Studio, we have Space Anya Forger. Okay, $102 is, yeah, kind of expensive, but once again, this is no resin figure. And so far, we had like a bazillion different Anya figures, and all of them are between $80 to $110, right? It seems standard at this point. Coming out in June next year. Now, this space figure reminds me of a genuine figure by a brand that I can't remember the name anymore, from Denpa Ona Seishu no Otoko. Yeah, there an anime character wearing a space outfit. A spacesuit is not common. I don't remember that character's name or the figure company behind that figure, but yeah, that was a very unique figure. I still remember even today. Very old figure, 10 years old at least. Moving on to the next Anya figure. This is the most boring one among the three. I mean, the Trump version already overshadowed everything else. Water Trading Anya Forger. Just the summer dress, right? At 88 bucks. Can't really recommend this one. Now, moving on to the next one. We have two figures from One Piece. The first one, Kimono Robin. Nikke Robin by Dream Studio. This is available in 1x7 scale at $174. 1x5 scale $214. Obviously, 1x5 is the value purchase. And this is what the figure looks like. Just a generic safe Nikke Robin figure, no cast-off features of any kind. She looks okay otherwise. And the next one here, we have Perona by Toys My Dream Studio. This studio makes a lot of One Piece stuff at a low cost. This is one of them. This Perona is only $126 and you can get her in this purple violet color outfit or in white color if I remembered correctly. Yes, there you go, white color, which looks really good as well. A lot of Perona figures feature her wearing pink or violet, lavender, purple. So white color might not be a bad choice if you're looking for something a little bit different. Moving on to the next one, childhood series number 1, Little Hinata Hyuga by Yin Studio from Naruto. $69 only at 1x6 scale. This looks like something made by an art student who is still an undergraduate in college, right? Like, not professional level of details, something like that. It feels that way to me, but nothing wrong with that. This is an affordable figure, really. And quite a competent looking one. There's nothing much wrong with it at this price point at least. Moving on to the next one, we have Android 18 from Dragon Ball by MS Studio, $153 at 1x7 scale. June 2025 release. This is the realistic version, which is actually quite nice looking, to be honest. Like, even when converted from anime style to realistic style art, you can still easily tell that it is Android 18 in a way. It is like a highly skilled cosplayer choosing the perfect character that has the same anatomy features as her own face, you know. So the cosplay turns out to be exceptionally accurate. So it feels that way to me. Unlike those Yae Miko, Genshin Impact realistic face figures, it feels like a random cosplayer picking up an anime character to cosplay. This one does not feel that way in the sense that, it looks like a very good conversion, realistic conversion. But if that is not your kind of thing, anime version will be provided as well. So $153 is actually reasonable. Very reasonable, in fact. Even more so with that base over there. Okay, moving on to the next one here from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Ciri Fiona Ellen Rhiannon. Which word over there is her actual name? Anyways, not much of a gamer, that's the thing. I don't have the time for it. There are so many games that I want to play. Western game titles, actually. 1x3 scale. Oh, that explains the $1,300 US price. And that is for the bonus version, I think. Okay, more accessories in the box. Regular version is it is just like $60 cheaper. Why bother? Go for the bonus version, obviously. Yeah, the kind of details you'll pay for in a resin statue at this size. It is very realistic, right? And this kind of super realistic look, it works for game characters. Is this a licensed figure? Prime 1 Studio. My bad habit of not reading the entire title. So this is going to appear in HLJ next week, I think. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one, Halbo Studio. They do have a jewelry figure already from Street Fighter. Now they have Cammy. At 1x4, standard version is $389. This is what you get for the standard version, very reasonable, right? $389 you get the main figure and swappable parts for what appears to be a gym outfit. And then there is a deluxe version, $505. You get a lot more stuff. In fact, a little bit too much in my opinion. Let me see if there is a picture of the deluxe version. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, deluxe version. So you get more additional parts, and to me, it is a bit unnecessary, I think. I'll go for the standard version, 389, more than good enough. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. My favorite 1x4 scale resin figure this week. Resin figure. Just now I said that Sophia F Shirring is my favorite 1x4 scale Barney PVC figure this week. This would be for resins, right? Goddess of Victory Nikke Private, or is it Private? Like, could be other language with the same spelling, you know? So I think I'll just call it private. 1x4 scale licensed resin figure by Tri-Eagle Studio. So this will probably appear in HLJ and Army and everywhere else in the coming weeks as well. $599 is actually not bad. Coming out in December 2025. Oh, this is so good, man. There is only one thing I'm unhappy with this figure, is that we need a firearm included, right? Like whatever that she uses, a sniper rifle, a shotgun, whatever she uses, a defining feature of characters from this game is a bit of a miss to me, but otherwise this is a great looking figure nonetheless. Moving on to the next one, licensed resin figure again from LM Studio, otherwise known as Looming Studio. Game 4-piece limited edition Phantom of Time and Space, whatever that is. For $54 for everything you get over here is... For resin figures, that is considered cheap. No release date yet. Oh wait, hold on a second. Is this from that online shooting game? Like this is the helmet that is so familiar. PUBG, yeah, PUBG. Is this from PUBG? This is from PUBG, man. Great looking figure, not my kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, next one here. This is actually one of the main highlights in the third party side this week. Huanxi Studio has a third party figure of Morrigan Ainsland from Darkstalkers. This is unusual. I've never seen a third party resin figure from Darkstalkers. Even more so, Morrigan specifically. Kotobukiya has amazing scale figures of her at 1x7 though. This one, $490. 1x4 scale. If you don't mind the realistic face over there, which is kind of nice looking, hey, this is a good buy. I don't see myself buying a Darkstalkers figures, not even the Kotobukiya one. But for those of you unhappy or feeling unsatisfied with 1x7, here is a 1x4. This is beautiful. Like, very artistic. It looks like the kind of statue I would see in a museum, you know? Yeah. Up next, from SW Toys, another licensed figure, action figure of Jill Valentine from Resident Evil at 1x6 scale, $274. Finally, a character that isn't Ada Wong, isn't it? A lot of accessories included. The thing is that they usually don't go wrong when it comes to resin figures, right? They don't go wrong with the face. This looks okay. Not my kind of thing, but it looks okay. The only exception I can think of at the moment where, despite being licensed original figures, they go wrong very often. Yeah, Square Enix. I'm just looking for excuses to trash them. Looks like something I would expect from brands like Hot Toys, you know. Okay, moving on to the next one. More licensed action figures. We have a lot of licensed stuff this week from Very Cool. We have Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters, $224 only for an action figure, September 2025 release. Oh, this is thick. So thick that you guys, the Thai lovers, the muscular Thai lovers, Chun-Li fans are going to love this so much. Look at those thighs over there. I prefer slightly more slender ones, to be honest. Not the very muscular ones, but hey, this kind of thing is very popular. I acknowledge that. Right? And her face looks really good for a realistic sculpt. $224, very reasonable for what you're getting over here. Seamless action figure. Next one here, another licensed figure. Wow, half of the figures I just covered are all licensed. Beautiful Chemistry Studio. This is an original character. Looks like something of an original character that, you know, the gothic style art. Yeah, this feels like gothic style art. And half of it feels like those Cartoon Network characters, yeah, or Nickelodeon. It looks a little bit that way to me. Okay, so this is coming out in September 2025 for $164. Action figure. Yeah, it is either you love it or you don't, right? It is like a very unique art style. Not my kind of thing, but I do think she looks nice though. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. We have a 1x4 scale 2B by Dragon Studio. Dragon Studio is known for making a lot of 1x4 scales with realistic faces. They are not too different from, ACY Studio, for example. They are similar in a way. So this is 2B white or black version, $282 each, which is exceptionally cheap for a 1x4 scale. If there is one complaint I have, I'm not sure if I can even call it a complaint, because nothing is ever 100% original in the world of anime and art. The black color version, it looks like 2B broke into Kurumi Tokisaki's apartment. Yeah, that girl from Dead Alive, and stole something from her closet. It looks like something Kurumi would wear. Yeah, black and red. Moving up next, this is so random. Rize Kamishiro from Tokyo Ghoul, the anime. Like, first 2 episodes, great. 3rd episode onwards, hot trash all the way to the end. And I heard that it will get a remake. I heard. I don't know whether it is confirmed or not. Okay, Black and White Studio, $238, and there is a normal version and hidden version. $238 for the hidden version, normal version, same price. Which means you're not getting extra parts, more like there are 2 versions. The normal version over here, and this one over here, where she is. I mean, it's Tokyo Ghoul, right? Tokyo Ghoul, normally people would pick this one, I think, rather than an ordinary looking human version. You get a second bust figure part to display her with the second face sculpt. Is that it? Okay. I don't really like this one so much. Moving on to the next one. Licensed figure again by LM Studio. I think this is a PVC figure. A Chibi Ghost Blade Hai Chin Yen. Classic edition and collector's edition, $73 and $94. Oh, collector's edition has this very nice display box. Alright. It is worth it if you love pretty display boxes. I actually wanted to make a video on this topic, but I'm just a little bit unwilling to spend on those custom display boxes. They are not cheap. They are like 300 to 400 Chinese yuan each. Not cheap. This is cheap. You're paying like extra $15 for the box because this is a small figure to begin with. Acrylic boxes are not cheap at all. Coming out in September 2025. Wow. Transparent PNG images, man. Not very common. I'm not interested in babies. In fact, I hate babies. Moving on to the next one. A figure that the genuine figure brands won't make. Monster Musume. Oh, I think there are genuine licensed figures out there for Monster Musume, but very few. Merone, how to pronounce that? Lorelei Dio Neptune. $255 at 1x6 scale by Fishhead Studio, and she is car-stoppable. The upper half of her body. I have a question over here. How do mermaids actually make babies? I mean, down there it is just a fishtail, so where is the you get my point. Alright, I don't really have much else to comment on other than you might want to consider one if you are a big fan of Monster Musume. I don't think there are any genuine figures of this character over here. Next one here, FGO. Raiko by Wei Yang Studio, $355 at 1x4 scale. No release date yet. Actually, she has milk spilled all over her, and the front part of the figure is completely exposed, which is why I couldn't put it on screen. And the picture quality over here is so bad, very grainy, very low resolution, that unfortunately I couldn't show you guys much about this figure. Can I recommend it? My answer is no. Go and pay 34,000 yen for the Auto 1x6 scale. Yeah, I would rather you buy that. This is just Raiko in a bunny suit and some fan service. Unless you like degenerate figures, I can't recommend it. Yeah. Though 355 bucks at 1x5 is very reasonable for 1x4, so there is that. Moving on to the next one, we have Suzuran. I think I prefer the one by Spirit Demon Studio. Was it Spirit Demon Studio where she is hugging her legs? Everyone loved that version. This is by Sprout Cat Studio, $240 at 1x6 scale, releasing in June 2025. She looks nice. I don't have any complaints with this one. Just that there are slightly better looking versions out there. And I think this is like her third or her fourth resin figure already. There are a few choices out there. Just pick whichever that you like. This one looks okay, but not my personal favorite, right? No complaints at all about her face. She looks good. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is an early bird pre-order. I think, no, you can already pre-order it. 1x6 scale would be $190, $322 at 1x4 scale. And even though we don't have product photos yet, just an illustration, this Atago from Azalane by Arctic Wolf Studio, which is already a fairly reliable studio or trustworthy studio by now. I have covered this studio so many times, like 5 episodes of which third-party resin figure brand is good. Every episode featured Arctic Wolf Studio figures because among the third parties, they are printing figures like they are printing money or printing, I don't know, photocopying something. They release figures so quickly and so fast, and they get their faces right every time. So even without official product pictures, if you like what you're looking at, this is actually not a risky pre-order. That's how I would put it. Yeah, because we're talking about Arctic Wolf Studio over here. $322, and most likely you're getting extra parts to cast off the figure. That is a good deal at 1x4. Moving on to the next one here from Snow Studio, we have Misono Mika from Blue Archive. This is version 2.0, so there was a previous version. Can't remember. Okay, this is $172 only, June 2025 release. Generic swimsuit figure. Nothing much going on, and there are no signs of this figure being castable. Based on the pictures I've seen so far, the face is okay. Like, this looks like a CGI render, and I don't know much about Snow Studio, so the thing with Blue Archive is that many of the most popular characters will eventually get a genuine licensed scale figure at some point, if there isn't one already. Moving on to the next one from Wuthering Waves, which is becoming popular, like it is gaining in popularity recently. 1x6 scale Yinlin from FWS Studio. We only have one single picture and no price or release date yet. Early bird pre-order. So I'm not sure if I am a fan of the base over there. It looks kind of nice though. I just noticed these mecha parts over here. Okay, let me change my mind and say I like it. Oh, this mecha part over here. I love it. And of course, I will check out her face first. And I am liking her already. You see, sometimes you really need to zoom in to inspect the details of the figure. And then you get a clearer idea of what you're getting. Okay, for someone who does not like effect parts, this is looking pretty good to me. 1x6 scale, right? But with that base over there, I'm predicting $350. Yeah, predicting. Hopefully it will be cheaper than that. FWS Studio, go and check out their current releases of Honkai Star Rail figures and decide for yourself whether their quality is acceptable to you. I think they look fine. Yeah. They make a lot of Honkai Star Rail stuff, if I remember, and some of them have already been released. So you just need to head over to Reddit, GK groups, or even Discord groups and check out any user pictures that has been uploaded by the others. And the last third-party resin figure for today, but this is not third-party. This is a bit weird because this Wuthering Waves PVC figure by a Chinese brand, Kurometeus, this is supposed to be on pre-order for 2 weeks already. And I remember seeing people sharing it on Facebook, but I don't recall this figure ever appearing in Ami on HLJ, which is a bit weird. Like, is this China exclusive? It is likely, right? It is likely. I need to check again. This is a 1/7 scale PVC figure actually, and this should have been in the earlier section, like HLJ Army segment of today's video. July 2025 release, 1/7 scale, and we take a closer look over here. One thing I just don't get is that third-party licensed figures, they would distribute high-resolution pictures for everyone to zoom in, and then the genuine figure brands, they give you resized, low-quality images, and that applies to every genuine figure brand out there by the Japanese and the Chinese. I don't know why. Like, there is a huge difference in the way they publish images of the products. At first glance, wow, this is very detailed. Ooh, for 1/7, man. At first glance, I feel like I'm looking at something made by either one of these three, Weebos, Mietos, or Apex Toys. The reason why I'm speculating this is that, the way the character is designed and painted, all these silver trims and the way they paint, the way they do the shading, this is very similar to the painting style of Apex Toys and Mietos. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 2 or 3 companies are the ones behind this figure in terms of the manufacturing part. But instead of putting their names, they put Chrometeos because Chrometeos holds the license to Wuthering Waves. It is likely. Another similar example on the Japanese side would be Kadokawa figures, Aniplex figures, and also Pony Canyon figures. Pony Canyon make animes. Do you think they have a factory making figures? I don't think so. It is outsourced to someone behind the scenes and we don't know which one. That is it. So this one is worth picking up, right? Chinese genuine figure brand. There are no bad ones as I mentioned earlier. And for only 68 bucks, not a bad purchase at all. Low budget scale figure. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? So many good stuff this week. Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, if you found this video helpful or informative, give this video a like. Subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.